and it wasn't about not accepting American Express. It was about the fact that I think she's a horrific human being.
She lied. It was like the whole ruse.
It was
right?
not just. It was the lie, but it was
why the ruse.
It was that the attempt to publicly shame someone.
Yeah, not cool.
I think I don't think there's any end to how much you should be shamed after that.
Yeah.
For trying to get your way through that method.
So that clip was from 7 years ago. I wanted to show you it because I think it directly relates to the current predicament Tom is in. He just deleted an entire month of tweets in what seems like damage control. I made a video a couple of weeks back about his Twitter rant that was directed at the people that most likely make up the majority of his fan base. Since then, every tweet from October is gone. It goes from September straight to November. It all started because an airline attendant made him check his bag. He called her a "see you next Tuesday" on Twitter. The comment section was not pleased. Instead of putting down the phone, he went full Peterson and responded to the pores, calling the guy who called him ego-driven a dumb that can't relate. He responded to this guy by just saying poor, which I think is funny, and I think Tom was trying to be funny, but I don't think that there was any coming back from his original post calling the lady a "see you next Tuesday." Everything after that feels like a right fighter. Nobody ever wins at being angry on social media. I think maybe he just misread the situation and thought his fan base would show him support. It reminded me of his sushi beef. To sum it up, the sushi place wouldn't take his American Express. They were rude to him, but he eventually paid with cash after getting into it with the lady behind the counter. He posted a bad review of the place on Instagram, and his fans really came to his support.
The listeners of our show are...
Uh-oh. You didn't. You unleashed mommy power on the problem?
Yeah. This is moments after. It says, warning, this is not a poly-bi friendly establishment. My mommy also developed an Asian accent after we ate here. She can't stop speaking in broken English. Can someone explain this? I'd rather move to the Midwest, than eat here again. Mommy told me not to go, but my boy Tom and Mr. White folks was in town saying some hoes and also making Kim Ann airtight and just right. My jeans were a little high, but not too tight. I had a rectum roll. And how do you say ching chong, ching chong.
That's so stupid.
Next thing I know, Mike Tyson comes in with Bruce, and everyone said, "Hey, Hitler." Next time I will go somewhere else, most likely on the Hundreds block. They don't even have any bikes, and they don't even know who Big Daddy Kane is. I mean, like, they tied in all the references. I think they fully got what they deserved.
Yeah.
They've already, managed to get a bunch of the reviews removed.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I'm glad it caused, them to think about the way they treat their customers. We don't have to, I'm not asking you guys to bombard them more. That's why I've, attempted to not mention them again. But just know that, because people were asking me, like, well, what happened? I told you what happened. I felt extremely justified in asking people to do that to them. But yeah, just so people go, I wouldn't just do that. I wouldn't for fun say, hey, go up these people's reviews just for pure amusement or because I didn't think the sushi was good. But when I feel like, somebody mistreats me or mistreats anyone,
of course.
Then I don't think it's really, going far to ask for that.
I think that story had to have a residual effect on how Tom feels he can approach social media. He was clearly happy that he had a fan base that supports him. Also, they were using phrases and sayings from YMH. The same thing I think Tom was doing when calling people pores. He didn't mean it, it's just a gag. I guess that airline attendant really tipped him off because he posted again and said all the pores and losers have the same response. This is why you're poor. And then he called the pores time worthless and compared them to on a washcloth. The washcloth thing has been an ongoing joke on YMH for a while.
I agree. I think the washcloth is a poor person thing. Because
I've only met pores who use them. I've ended friendships when I saw washcloths. I'm serious. I don't want that stink on me, that pores. So there's the joke part
Politics,
of it. Now here's the serious part of it.
Stupid idiots.
Washcloths are for poor people.
He even made a couple more posts after this, and even got a response from American Airlines apologizing to him for the hassle. He got an apology for calling a woman... Never mind. He could have salvaged the entire situation if with the next post he just apologized to the lady at American Airlines, but instead trashes them and somehow manages to get another jab in at the pores. You can say Tom was just joking about the pores, but his rant from earlier in the year didn't feel that way. This was around the same time a growing portion of the comment section for Two Bears was getting tired of hearing about Tom and Bert spending money.
We talk about like a watch or a car. I'll get a bunch of messages from losers that try to tell me that I'm I'm making them feel bad about their situation, you're in control of your own situation and your own feelings. So don't put it on me that you feel bad, that I have something that, oh, but I'm struggling with rent this month. Figure it the out, okay? Like, don't make my life be a problem for your life. If you don't like it, guess what? You're not going to be able to control what people talk about. People are going to talk about things that you don't have for the rest of your life. So you can decide like, okay, I won't, fine, don't listen to me, don't listen to that person anymore, but you have to control your own feelings, okay? It's not on other people to make sure they don't talk about a topic that makes you feel bad, all right? Like, I lost 20 grand gambling this weekend. Go ahead.
This could have been a gag too, and he was just trying to make a viral clip, but it still rubs fans the wrong way. The average viewer has no idea of the running gags on YMH, so when the algorithm pumps up the video of him hating pores to a wider audience, he just comes off as a jerk. It didn't help his cause when Steve-O was on the Danny Brown show.
Dude, Danny, let me take a moment to compliment the way that your podcast is produced. I mean, I'm looking at like the skeletons of the dogs coming up behind us. They've got this cool, it's always a cool background. Like, dude, this YMH Studios is doing you right.
Yeah, shouts out to the Booth Boys, man. They don't get enough credit, man. These motherfuckers work long hours, man, producing a lot of shows, man. So they really the backbone of this shit, man. So I give all credit to the Booth Boys, man.
Is there any money left over for you, Danny?
Huh?
Is there any money left over for you?
No.
I'm guessing there's probably not that much money left over for the guys in the booth either.
Oh,
it's all
man.
Tom and Christina just running around, getting on private jets, making fun of poor people.
Yeah. Damn it. All right. Next up.
Everybody's out here busting theirs, making this beautiful art. And dumpster diving. Mothers in the booth are out there busting tables after work.
You know what I'm saying?
A couple of weeks after Steve-O called out Tom on Danny Brown's show, he started to do damage control. And for whatever reason, on the timeline we are living, going on late night is not damage control. But instead, he does an interview with Jokerwld.
You got to ask some real questions about if washcloths are for the poor, which has been a classic YMH debate that's been going on for a long time now and has plenty of people actually angry, which you've doubled down on. It's not even close to the craziest thing you've ever said on a podcast. So as a comedian, does it ever surprise you what people choose to get upset at versus what they can accept as a joke?
It surprises you like the moment you go, oh wow, but then you go like, yeah, this is what people do, you know, because you also realize that in like if you want to use washcloths as an example, the way that kind of went viral is that somebody clips like 30 seconds of a conversation, and then somebody who has no idea who you are or what this is just sees that and they go, oh this is like very inflammatory the way that this is said, and they don't get that it's kind of part of a larger conversation, and that you're basically like doing a bit, right? But you don't get any of that when they clip it out. But I'm also used to that.
It's interesting how Tom describes what happens. It's the exact same thing every news station in America does. They take clips and make attention-grabbing stories from those clips. It's obviously a joke, but for some reason the bit didn't go over well with his audience. Around the same time, Tom went on Bobby Kelly's podcast, and it kind of felt like Bobby was trolling him. It looked like Tom was weirded out by all the praise.
It's weird because you guys are like a power couple.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
But you're the most normal. This is a weird thing about you guys. You guys are the nicest people. Like everybody that does your show,
yeah,
they're great. They're awesome. It's so fun. They're so nonchalant. Nice. Yeah, and it's like I've never heard a bad thing about you.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think much has changed about how we really are from starting this thing forever ago. We were just like two open micers, who met and just pursued this lunacy that we do.
Yeah.
And, we got obviously like some super lucky breaks, and then you just try to keep doing what you do,
Tom's attitude is completely opposite of the guy who was rage tweeting at an airline attendant. He seems humble, says he got lucky, and caught some breaks. I hope Bobby was trolling him. It would make sense because in this next clip, he asked Tom about his car collection, and he doesn't seem to want to talk about it.
What kind of car you have?
What kind?
You have cars?
Yeah,
How many cars you got? You all right?
Yeah.
You know what, Tommy?
No, I don't know.
Are you Seinfeld cars?
No.
If Bobby wasn't trolling him, then this episode had to be part of a larger marketing campaign to appeal back to his fan base. Maybe Tom filled Bobby in on what he was trying to do, so Bobby just overplayed it.
Yeah, but you are one of the biggest comics in the world, Tom.
I don't know. I guess.
So I love you even more that you just got humble.
To me, this seems like damage control. The funniest part to me is that Making the Rounds has changed from Letterman, Leno, and Good Morning America to Jokerwld and Bobby Kelly. It gets to the point where it really feels like there's a lot of prep prior to the show on talking points to hit, like Tom is a good tipper. But then later when they are Googling Tom when he was fat and his subreddit image comes up, it says, don't forget where you came from.
You know, I have like Catholic guilt. I mean, like I bonus well, I tip well.
Look at that one. Dude, what's that?
Oh,
Is
the
that
top
you?
left one. The one left there. That's one of the fattest I ever was.
Where?
Left, down. This one. That one. That's one of the. If you can make that bigger.
What?
One of the
You
biggest.
did a special like that?
But the other image.
Right there. Wow.
I don't know if. Yeah.
Scroll down. Just scroll down.
Scroll. Maybe it's in the.
Scroll down.
article?
It's in the article. Scroll down. I told you, they all have autism. I apologize. And they're not even listening right now. They're just.
Oh, there. Far left. That one.
Who's that?
That's me.
That's not you.
That's me.
That's not you.
2009.
What were you doing? Were you working at a candy factory? What?
I know.
Dude.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone wrote just a friendly reminder of where you came from, Tom.
I ain't no money you tip.
Yeah.
Wow, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were that guy right now.
All right, take it down, man.
That segment of the show was definitely organic. I don't think Tom would have told them to click on that photo if he knew what it said. I think what people really want is for Tom to get back to himself. That meme that said, don't forget where you came from, summed it up perfectly. The days when he would punch up, like when he went after Garth Brooks. People love that.
We now know he knows who you are, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
really
So
exciting.
he's been laughing at you?
He's been laughing at me. He blocked all of us.
Really?
Yeah, and then he turned off his comments, like just shut down comments on his social media. Sometimes he opens them back up, but a lot of times they're off now. Person goes, I was like, it came up because he knows he's so well connected to him. And I was like, he came to my show and I brought it up and as we're talking about it, I'm like, does he know? And he's like, yeah, of course he knows. And I asked, like, how does he take it? And he goes, he's confused by it, doesn't get it at all. So the next time I ran into this dude, I guess he had turned a little bit from like, I'm confused by this to like, hey, I don't like this that this guy is doing. Found out who I was, and he said that Garth, when people bring it up to him, shows them the video of me breaking my arm and like falling trying to dunk, and he goes, karma.
I don't know if it was a publicist or someone who works for YMH, but somebody had to tell Tom that he was going overboard. After all, there was a decision to delete an entire month's worth of tweets. The only time people do that is when they are in damage control. Let me know what you think.